right, here we go. We got another one. Andrew Whitworth, Super Bowl champion. Where are you?
That's a pretty good ring to it. I'm in
It
Cabo.
does. You're in Cabo?
I am.
Are you living in LA now?
Yeah, live out in LA.
Cabo. How long are you there for?
My wife and kids get here Thursday, and so we're here for like a week for the spring break. I came down on a little golf trip this weekend and just stayed.
Tough life, man.
It's rough. That's right. It's been pretty good couple months, that's for sure.
Did you know beginning of the season that you guys had I mean, obviously you guys were stacked. Did you feel like pretty good about it? Just stay healthy through the year, and you guys could probably be there at the end?
Yeah, I think, we really felt like we had a really good football team, and I think that, with any football season, I mean, there's all kind of things that can happen, but we knew if we stayed pretty healthy and some of the right people stayed healthy, we really had a chance.
Yeah, obviously. Oldest tackle in NFL history, is that correct?
That is correct.
How old are you?
To start a game. To start a game at left tackle, I think, is the actual oldest.
How old are you?
40.
You're 40. You're
Big 4-0.
I think that's probably more impressive than even Brady playing at 44 or 40, whatever, however the hell old he is. To play offensive tackle at up until 40 years old is unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, obviously with the position, the guys you're going against are, 25 years old and
freak shows.
Athletic phenoms. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do you think you got just more efficient as you got older?
Well, I think for me, really, it's I came in the league as probably a really strong, big team who I wouldn't say that I was like very agile and could move as well, probably at a young age as I do now. And so I was able to kind of learn how to get mobility and lose weight. And I got more athletic as my career kind of went on because my weight probably dropped, 30 pounds from when I entered the league to what I left as.
So you grew up in Monroe, Louisiana?
Yeah. Yep. Monroe, West Monroe.
Was Patrick Ramsey from around there?
Yeah, from Ruston.
He's from Ruston.
That's where my wife's hometown is.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
He was in Denver 07 whenever I was there. Awesome dude.
Dude, he's awesome. He's talking about athletic dude too, man. He's a pretty athletic guy. He can play some golf. He can do it all, man. He's a talented kid.
He's a hell of a man. Yeah, go ahead.
Unbelievable. He can absolutely strike the golf ball.
Oh, hell of a golfer.
Yeah.
He actually got me into golf because I didn't play golf growing up. He got me into golf when I was in Denver. I've lost it since then, but we played a ton whenever I was there. Did you play any other sports growing up?
I really did. I probably started playing football like consistently in junior high. I didn't really like it that much as a kid. I was the big fat slow kid, so in flag football you weren't very good. But no, I loved hooping. I was a basketball player. I loved playing basketball. And then I grew up my dad was a big tennis player, played a lot of intramural tennis, so I grew up playing a lot of tennis with him. And so playing hoops and playing tennis and playing some baseball is really all I did until junior high. I finally went up football.
Really? Did you go straight to the line?
Actually, my first year, I think I played some D-line, a little tight end. I was kind of tall and slender by then. I got most of my height really at a young age. I was almost 6'7" freshman in high school.
No kidding.
So, so I was tall and slender at that time. But, I'm not going to say I loved football at first. That's for sure. The Louisiana heat, wearing pads,
helmet.
I would have much rather been inside the gym, chasing the basketball a little bit.
I hear you. Was it when did you start getting scholarships and looks for football?
I actually got my first kind of somewhat offer. I wouldn't say it was an official offer my freshman year in high school. I went to they used to have the Bowden Academy, where it'd be Bobby and Terry and all the Bowdens, every one of them, there for kind of a passing academy deal they did in Alabama. And so I went to it with my high school. And I'll never forget Bobby Bowden actually taking me for a car ride in his car. And he was just kind of like, how much, would you like to play at Florida State one day? And I was just like, man, that'd be amazing. I didn't even have any idea what he was talking about.
Sure.
And I didn't know how the process worked at that time. and he was basically like, we'd love to have you. And so that was really my first true offer, was my freshman off season.
Started off hot then. Florida State as a freshman.
Yeah. Yeah. I wanted to go to Florida. I was always a Gator and Florida State fan. I loved watching those two play, the rivalry they had there in the 90s. It was so fun. And I always wanted to be a Gator. I just always chose that I wanted to be a Gator. I was a huge Danny Werfel fan.
Oh, yeah.
Back in the day.
Days,
and Fred Taylor and all those guys. So I actually committed to Spurrier. And
Did
then this guy named Nick Saban got hired by LSU.
Yeah.
And that changed everything.
Wait, was he coming off of the Dolphins then? No, he was coming.
No, he was coming from Michigan State.
Michigan State, yeah.
Yep.
So why'd you want to play for Saban?
Once I met him, I had an opportunity to sit down with him. I think you can just see some of the traits that make him so special. I mean, I thought the way he delivered, really, his overall plan, his kind of master plan, if you will, of what it was going to take to make LSU successful year in and year out, and how it wasn't really just about you as an athlete. It was about, how many different guys you could get in there and the culture that you could help establish of winning, more so than just telling you how good you are, and how much, you'd win at LSU. He really almost laid out a plan for how you could have the most success in your career as a college athlete. And I think for me, that really, that's how I'm wired, and I loved it. And I committed immediately to him. And then I started recruiting, and, we had one heck of a recruiting class. And I remember calling Ben Wilkerson and Marcus Spears and Michael Clayton, and all those guys over the years. And, it was all my same recruiting class. We were his very first class at LSU. It was really special.
Did you know that browsing online using incognito mode doesn't actually protect your privacy? That's right. Without added security, you might as well give away all your private data to hackers, advertisers, your ISP, and other prying eyes. That's why I use Ipvanish Vpn to make it easy to stay truly private and secure on the internet. Ipvanish helps you safely browse the internet by encrypting 100% of your data. This means that your private details, passwords, communications, browsing history, and more will be completely shielded from falling into the wrong hands. Ipvanish makes you virtually invisible online. You can use Ipvanish on unlimited devices without sacrificing on speed. Your computers, tablets, phones, even devices like your Fire Stick when you're streaming media. Whether I'm at home or in public, I don't go online anymore without using Ipvanish. Ipvanish is offering an incredible 70% off their yearly plan for our listeners with a 30-day money-back guarantee. That's just like getting 9 months for free. Stop sharing with the world everything you stream, everything you search for, and everything you buy. Take your privacy back today with a brand rated 4.6 out of 5 on Trustpilot. Just go to ipvanish.com/Cutler and use promotional code Cutler and claim your 70% savings. That's ipvanish.com/Cutler. Then what, 05, 03, national championship, beat Oklahoma?
Yep. Yeah, national championship in 03 with Nick, and then he left after the next season to head to Miami.
Yeah, I was, where was he at? When I came out, he was still at Miami. He hadn't left yet. Did you know that?
You came out what year?
I got drafted in 06.
Oh yeah, same class. Yeah, thought so.
Did you know that he was gonna? Did you think if he stayed in college that he'd win 7 national championships? Was he that good? I mean, I'll say
this way: that's a lot of national championships, but I knew he'd win a bunch. I mean, it just you don't have to be around him long. I said the same thing when I met Sean McVay the first time. You don't have to be around him long to realize this guy's going to win a lot of football games and going to have a winning program every year. Whether they win it or not, they're going to be in contention. They're going to have a chance, and they're going to be one of the teams that is going to be there at the end. And I actually told Sean that the first time we hung out. I said, for the first time in my career, you're the second guy I've met that I knew this guy's going to win.
Got to make it happen. So then in 06, 55th overall to the Bengals. How was that? How long were you there? 11 years? 11 seasons?
11 years, yeah.
It's almost a prison sentence.
Unbelievable. Yeah, it was crazy because at that time in Cincinnati, man, it was kind of rough. The downtown scene, everything. It was not much there other than sports, and so it was definitely a huge change for a kid from Louisiana and really the rich football history I was from. And, in that state, my high school was really successful. We were 58-2 in high school.
Oh, wow.
And then going to LSU and winning a bunch and winning a national championship. That was quite a change. Cincinnati, in a place that I think that had one winning season in 20-something years. So that was something new and different, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's hard whenever, because most guys in the NFL, they're successful in college, they're successful in high school, and then you go to the NFL, and it's like you don't really get to choose where you get to go, and you just might be on just a bad team. Just is what it is.
There's no doubt about it. And my first year in the league, we actually got you guys actually broke our hearts. We had a chance to go to the playoffs if we won one of the last 3 games of the season, and we dropped an extra point in the snow in Denver to force overtime. I think it was.
Yeah, I remember that game.
That one hurt. That hurt a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was Christmas Eve, actually, I believe.
Yeah. I was a part of that. We in 2008 in Denver, we had to win one of the last 2 or 3 games, same situation, and we dropped them all. San Diego beat the hell out of us last game, and then we lost to Buffalo. Should have beat Buffalo. We lost to them, and then we lost to Carolina on the road. And that sucks whenever you could just click off one game out of 3 and you drop them all. That's tough. Who are all the quarterbacks? Carson was there for a little bit, wasn't he?
Yeah, Carson was my quarterback my first 5 seasons, and then he got hurt one season. We had Fitzpatrick for a year, who's just an awesome guy. I mean, he's so much fun to play with. And just the energy bus of all energy buses. And, he was just an awesome dude. But, he was a lot of fun. I'll never forget because, you go into these 4th preseason games, like, we're not going to play much.
Yep.
But the starting O-line would have to go out with the backup quarterback. And it was like, all right, it's us and Fitzy.
Yeah.
And we'd be like, listen, Fitz, man, we only got to play one series.
Yeah.
Like, let's just,
3 and out.
Couple runs, dirt a ball,
and let's get out of here.
Man. Let's go drink water and let's get out of here. And Fitzy, nevertheless, I think we had our opening drive in Indy one year. I think he scrambled for a first down on like 6 consecutive third downs, like a 12-minute drive, for a touchdown. And we were so mad at him, and he was just on top of the world. It was like he was winning the Super Bowl. It was unbelievable. But yeah, so I had Carson, Fitz, and then Andy Dalton in 2011.
There too, yeah.
We drafted Andy.
Yeah, Fitzy, he only knows one way to play, I think.
Well, that's no doubt about it.
So when was your last year in Cincy?
2016. So we went 06 to 10 with Carson, 11 to 15 with Andy, and then 16 was my last year with those guys. And then the 17 off season, I signed with the Rams.
Did you talk to anybody else, or did you know you want to go to the Rams?
I did. I actually talked to Denver. I talked to, because at that time I had up in Colorado in the mountains that I love to train in the altitude and stuff in the off season. So
gotcha.
I lived up there. And so I loved Denver, was definitely somewhere I wanted to go. And then Mike Zimmer had just left and gone to Minnesota.
Okay.
And so Zimmer was with us in Cincinnati and had a close relationship with him. So that was a real contender too. And then obviously the Chargers and the LA, the Rams were both 2 teams that needed left tackles at the time. And so I actually had, for a 35-year-old left tackle on the market, I had a really good market. It was a lot of people out there and a lot of teams that needed it. So, but the Rams were always one kind of, it's funny how those things work. It was like the team that when I was finishing my season in Cincy that year, kind of interesting. I always just kind of reading their stories and where they were at left tackle wise and kind of what they were doing with hiring Sean McVay. I was always kind of enticed by it. And I had met Sean at a couple combines when I used to be with the PA and do stuff as a rep, and he used to be there. And I think Jay Gruden at one time, and so Jay was with me in Cincy, and I shot him a text and was like, "Hey man, please tell Sean and those guys I'd love to come there if there's an opening." And here we are.
So you met with Sean, and was it instant? You're like, hey, "This is where I need to be."
Yeah, when I met him, I was like, there's a few times in your career you either meet like a coach, a position coach, or maybe an off-season trainer or something where you're like, all right, this guy and me see things really the same way. Like I want to work with this person.
Yeah.
And when I met him, I was like, man, our vision for a team and what winning football looks like and how you go about that process is very similar, and it's right up the alley of what I'd want to be a part of. And I think for me, it didn't take long. I mean, I think 2 months into it, me and him were going to dinner and hanging out every day, and our friendship from there. And now it's one of the best friends in life. So it's been really cool to think in 5 years how much has changed.
Yeah, it's amazing how you kind of, as you get older in your career, you kind of view coaches, you view the whole system a little bit differently, and like you're looking for, these 3 directives. Like, this is who I want to play for. This is what I want it to look like. This is the culture I want to be in. And as a younger player, in your mid 20s to even 30, like you're just trying to survive, and you're clueless out there.
Yeah, you're thinking, how do I be successful and get another contract and get the things you want? And then you start realizing how much of that stuff just comes if you just find ways to win and be a part of good cultures. And then when there's success, everybody's going to benefit.
Yeah, you said you lost weight. When did you start kind of? Were you ever on IR or anything? Anything ever?
No, I think for me it was really early in my career. I think if you looked across the league, you had Orlando Pace, Jonathan Ogden, Willie Anderson. I mean, just some big monster human beings, big dudes. And so at that time, I was probably, I was right up there close to all of them, 6'7", 350, 360, probably when I was playing. And I just started realizing, like, all right, I kind of hit a point where probably my 4th or 5th year where I was like, I know I can last in this league. I know I can play for a really long time and have success.
Sure.
But if I looked at those guys and said, did all those guys retire because they couldn't play anymore, or did they retire because maybe they were carrying around a little too much weight? They couldn't move how they wanted to move anymore. They were getting a lot of injuries from just maybe carrying around a little extra load.
Sure.
And so I started saying, you know what? All right, after my 5th year, I kind of made a commitment. Every single season, I'm going to be down 3 to 5 pounds at the end of the season. That's going to be my goal. During the season, I'm going to stay really active. I'm not going to let myself get, Cincinnati, cold weather, you can get still fast. So that was my commitment every season, and I was able to hold to it. I mean, by the time I was out in the Rams, I was probably playing at 15 or 10. At the end of the season, I'd hit somewhere around the 310 to 315 mark. And that's really kind of how I started it. After like year 5 and 6, 11 years later, I kind of shaved it all off.
You probably felt better too, not having to carry that stuff.
Unbelievable. Yeah, I started doing lots of yoga, lots of stuff to just keep my body moving. And
did you change your diet?
To where I kept mobility. Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, obviously, I think that you can never outwork a bad diet. That's for sure. So yeah, I started just trying to. It might not be all year round, like maybe. Saturdays and Sundays, or Fridays, Saturday, Sunday during the week, during the season, I might eat kind of what I want, but the rest of the week, I kind of consider it like fueling up for the game, but then during the week, eat as clean as I could. And then in the off seasons is really where I made the most strides. In the off season, I would try to do my best. I knew I'd probably drink or go some places, do things. So during the week, like, I'm gonna eat as clean as I can possibly eat and be as active as possible. I think that's really where I was able to make most of the strides and trying to lean myself out during football season.
That's amazing. Well, I mean, you lasted a hell of a long time, so you did something right.
Yeah, there's a lot of factors that go into that, but also having a coach that's about 6 years younger than you, and you can tell him when you're going to practice, that helps out too. So
were you on just like the Thursday afternoon, Friday playing?
I made appearances on Thursdays, and then some weeks not, and but I was always out there on Friday.
Wednesday was a no-go, right?
Yeah, Wednesday I didn't usually walk out of the building, so it's once I entered the building, I just stayed in there. So, that was kind of the plan most of the time.
It's nice whenever you get to be that older guy and you can make those decisions, and still play on Sunday. There's a lot of people that can't do that. Whenever you guys got Matthew, I mean, whenever he stepped in the building, did you know that he was the real deal?
I did. I mean, you don't have to be around him long to realize really that different switch he has, and that ability to just be aggressive and confident and know that he has talent and abilities and pull the trigger. It's been really fun to see him in these moments. You think about in his career in Detroit, he didn't have a whole lot of moments where it's like year in and year out, you're in a competitive or you're in a game where it's like, all right, like this game means a lot, and I got to go out there and perform. And to see him kind of go throughout this last season, and really just how much it almost like woke him up a little bit and made him even, bring out more of his personality.
Yeah.
I think it's been really fun to be a part of, because there's now a new confidence and swagger that he has, that he's proven, you give me the right situation, I can go win. And I think that that's going to only make these next couple of years even more fun to watch him play.
Yeah, I'm excited for him. I was happy to see him win, because we played him all the time whenever I was in Chicago. And I think there's, like you said, there was only, I think 1 year we went there, and it was like their first Monday night game, and they beat the hell out of us. But I think that was like kind of the only year that they had a shot and games actually mattered. The rest of the times, it's like it was like playing in a warehouse up there. There's no one in there. Yeah. It's cold. It's quiet. But I mean, he had an unbelievable career there, and I was happy to see him get this one. He deserved it. Uncut with Jay Cutler is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Let's face it, sometimes multitasking can be a little overwhelming. Like when your favorite podcast is playing and the person next to you is talking and your car fan is blasting, all while you're trying to find the perfect parking spot. But then again, sometimes multitasking is easy, like quoting with Progressive Insurance. They do the hard work of comparing rates so you can find a great rate that works for you, even if it's not with them. Give their nifty comparison tool a try, and you might just find getting the rate and coverage you deserve is easy. All you need to do is visit Progressive's website to get a quote with all the coverages you want, like comprehensive and collision coverage or personal injury protection. Then you'll see Progressive's direct rate, and their tool will provide options from other companies all lined up and ready to compare, so it's simple to choose the rate and coverages you like. Press play on comparing auto rates. Quote at Progressive.com to join the over 27 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy. Walter Payton Man of the Year.
Yeah, that was a pretty cool night. I mean, that's for sure. I think that anytime you get an opportunity to be nominated for something like that award, it's really special and humbling to look across the 31 other guys that are nominated with you and all the cool things that they're doing. I thought that was one of the most fun parts of the process to me. The last 4 or 5 years I've been nominated, just getting to see what other guys are doing all across the league, man, it makes you really prideful of the league you play in and just what special people are a part of it.
So the Big Wit 77 Foundation, what exactly you guys do?
I think really for me, it's been things, Jay. I think that it's one of those things that, in the off seasons, we've done a lot of stuff in Louisiana with scholarship programs, adoption grants, holding different events in the city just around Christmas and Thanksgiving and other times that we can support the community. And then in the cities I've played in, whether it be in Cincinnati or LA, it's just finding things the community needs and opportunities that we can help be along the way, to assist in whatever it is that our community is looking for from us. And so that's involved all kinds of things. I mean, I'm one of those people, I don't really know that there's one thing I want to be involved in as much as, when you find a need or you find people that you're like, man, these people, what, I want to meet them where they're at, and I want to find a way to help them be successful as they deserve that opportunity. You try to get involved in it. In LA, it's been a lot to do with homelessness and military vets and finding different ways we can help them. And then we've also had the opportunity to be a part of the Make-A-Wish program here in LA. And,
that's great.
all of those have been amazing. I mean, that was the coolest part for me when I went through the Walter Payton Man of the Year process, seeing that there was 32 different charities and foundations and schools that we had been a part of in 5 years. It was really special to my wife and I that we got those opportunities to be a part of, something that we believe in and people that we hope will success in the world.
That's awesome. And you have 4 kids?
I do. 11, 10, and 7.
11, 10, and 7. Goodness. So you're busy.
Yeah, I stay pretty busy. These 3 days right here are a little quiet. I don't have anybody begging me for a new bat or to go throw the baseball or, it's been all right. I'm gonna be rejuvenated and ready to go though.
Yeah, I've got 9, 7, and 6. And whenever we go on vacation, I probably throw the ball 1,000 times in the pool. I feel like I'm out there for 6 hours just playing catch. It's fun though.
Yeah, I get a lot of football tosses in, and then obviously being the big guy in the pool, I'm like the nominated everybody kid gets thrown, up in
Uh-huh.
the air guy. So
Uh-huh.
I get a heck of a workout if I walk in the pool with the kids because
Bring
not
your
only do
shoulders
they
up.
want it, but they nominate every kid they make a friend
Oh yeah.
with. You've got to get my dad to throw you.
Uh-huh.
So it's always turns into an event. That's for sure.
Are they playing sports?
They are. My boys play baseball. One of my daughters plays softball. The other one does piano and sings and stuff.
Yeah.
She loves music, and so they're pretty active. But they keep us busy, and you know what? Their days between school and all their activities
Sure.
keep me and their mom taxiing them around everywhere.
Will you let the boys play football?
I let one of them play this past year.
Uh-huh.
He's always been kind of wired to want to play football.
Sure.
He's a very physical kid. And I let him play. The older one wants to play. The 11-year-old wants to play this year too. He's kind of my kid that has a tendency to get hurt every time he does something. He's a very tough kid, but he actually physically gets injured when he does stuff. He breaks bones and everything else. So he makes me a little nervous, but he wants to play, and we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, my 9-year-old is like, he begs daily to play, and I'm like, bro, like just calm down. You'll figure it out. He's actually playing lacrosse now and actually loves it. So I think I bought.
Oh yeah, one of my boys wants to play that too. He loves that. He's really interested.
Yeah, he had his first game Sunday, and I didn't know much about the sport. I've been kind of researching it, but it's a cool sport. I mean, it's physical enough. Their helmets on, but they're not banging heads. So it's kind of filling the void. Buying me some time. So you're retired now. You got 4 kids. You're probably a professional Uber driver, just shipping them around. What else? What else you got going on? What's the plans? Take some time, just figure it out.
Yeah. I'm working out, walking, and playing golf. That's it, man. Just staying active and trying to figure all that out. We're gonna. Obviously, I'm gonna try and talk to some of the networks, see if there's a media spot that I would enjoy or something that kind of fits me. And then also, I've talked to the Rams about possibly staying on there too. So it's there's a good thing to have options, but you know what? I think to me, you never want to be doing something you're not passionate about or you don't really want to be involved with. So it's really about stepping back a little bit, finding out what your passion is going to be and what it is you think you would enjoy doing, really invest your time into.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, I took almost like 2 years to kind of figure out exactly what I want to do, and I still don't even know if I'm doing what I'd want to do for the most part. But I mean, it's amazing because you've played sports your whole life, and then you're 40 years old, and it's like, all right, well, I've got this whole second life, and what am I going to do?
Yeah, that's the craziest part, and there's nothing that you have to do.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I guess in football, you've always felt like, all right, I got to go to training camp. I got to work out. I got to train, in OTAs and be ready for football season, and then in football season, I have to do the X, Y, and Z to play. And then all of a sudden it's like, boom, all that's gone. All right, well, none of that's useful. All right, so now I got to figure out what I want to do and what would be fun to do and what I would actually enjoy doing. Yeah. And then I got to figure out what I need to do to be good at that. So it's definitely an interesting process.
It really is. It really is. It's a fun process though too, because you've done it the right way and everything. So you're gonna have a ton of options. So you'll be able to kind of pick and choose and do things at your leisure and figure it out. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that we feel that just as a family, we couldn't be more thankful. Our careers ended, and our time for 16 years in the NFL, a lot of amazing opportunities, amazing people have been a part of that. So, I think that we're more just enjoying it. It's a little crazy, but it's a lot of fun crazy. So, just embracing the process, embracing the time we're in, and trying to soak it all in.
Absolutely. Last one. Did you know that this was your last year going into it?
I didn't really going into the season, but as the season went on, I'd always kind of been looking for like, what am I going to feel that's going to be different this time?
Sure.
Because physically, I think I'd kind of entered a groove, and I kind of understand like Tom a bit. Like I'd entered a groove where I kind of had a regimen for what was going to get me through every season, what I needed to do every off season, and barring like significant injury, I knew I could just keep playing if I wanted to.
Yeah.
And so I knew that there would be an option to keep playing in LA, but I kind of started feeling as the year went on, like, man, I'm not enjoying it as much because the body's starting to hurt more. I'm just not feeling as good. And it just gotten to a point where, it was taking some of that away from me. I wasn't being as active. I wasn't staying like I'd always has done during the season, of staying so active and being able to kind of have energy and stuff. And when I entered the playoffs, my wife and I kind of sat down and Melissa and I were basically, and I was just like, listen, I think this is it. Like, it's going to be a last run. Let's just let's put all our energy and time into it.
Yeah.
And let's make it worth it. And so we did that, and that was kind of our approach the whole time. As I kept joking with the guys, this is the last one. And after you've said for 6 years you're going to, nobody believes you anymore. So you're like the boy that cried wolf. And so nobody believed me, but I was like, this is it. This is it. And so as we started winning and things kept going our way, I think guys could feel that this was really the last time for me. And I knew it right when the game was over that this was the last time I'd play football.
Well, I mean, not many get to go out in a Super Bowl, so a Super Bowl win.
I'll take it.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's right.
And after a hell of a career, Walter Payton Man of the Year, Super Bowl champion, and now, you just get to enjoy life and your 4 kids and your wife. And so it's kind of got it all figured out.
Yeah, I mean, it feels good. It's definitely something that to us has been an amazing experience, man. I mean, there's so many cool things you get to do as an athlete and things you get to be a part of, and really special parts of those bonds in the locker room and the the relationships you build over time. Man, I don't know if there'll ever be anything like that again, but that was really special, and those relationships will last for a really long time. And I think that's something we'll take with us, is just all those bonds we got to create, and couldn't be more thankful, man.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate your time. I know you're in Cabo. You got golf and sun and all the fun stuff, so I'll let you get back to it. But thanks for coming on, Andrew. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I got to get back to the range, man. Get all this golf game in.
I
appreciate it. Thanks for letting me come on.
All right, thanks, bud.